Hello, I'm Randall M. Rueff, and recently I installed Mac OS 10.7 Lion on my Apple Macintosh computer, and when I did so, I lost a good friend. A good working professional and good friend. AppleWorks. Not version 5, this is the AppleWorks 5 manual, but I was using version 6.2.9, which was the last upgrade they ever made to this great software package. I created the Randall M Rueff comic strip with this. I wrote letters, I made drawings, paintings. The things I did with this was, there was a lot of things I did with this for a very long time. And it is, in my opinion, the best software package not only Apple, but any other company's ever made. But in paying tribute to AppleWorks, version 5 and version 6, I think we need to take a look back and show you where AppleWorks fit in and where it came from in the history of software prior to AppleWorks. And in doing so, you'll understand more why I'm going to miss this package, because I just miss it. First of all, let's start off. My first user experience with a computer was the Apple IIe, which they had at the Bartholomew County Public Library in Columbus, Indiana, in the children's department. When I was a young kid, probably 5th, 6th grade, they had one computer. They had like a basement section where all the kids' stuff is, and they had one computer down there that you could use. You could sign up for half an hour at a time to use the computer, and when we had the chance to do that, we did that. We enjoyed doing it. You can play games, play educational games, what they now refer to as edutainment, where you're learning and playing at the same time. Normally these were history games. But we enjoyed the Apple IIe. Then, upstairs in the adult section, in one corner of the library, they had something called a Mac Plus. And it had an external hard drive as well as the internal hard drive. And in fact, this is one of the discs that they used. And the reason I have the actual disc that they used is because when they sold their stuff, there was a store in the mall close to the library that bought and sold used computer stuff, and somebody from the library took all the discs from the old back. I mean, when they got rid of and replaced it, they took all their stuff and took it over there, the software and hardware, and tried to see what they could get for it. And I saw that and I was like, that's the stuff from the library. I gotta buy it. So I went out, and for $10 I got all the software they had. There was like 10 or 15 discs, and I bought all their discs for about exactly $10. So, but this is where it started. This in talking about software like AppleWorks, we have to start with where it began, and that is MacWrite and MacPaint. Now, MacWrite and MacPaint sometimes came on discs like this. However, I have two different versions of MacPaint as far as the discs. The first one, this was the system disc. It had the operating system and the software, and then it had a little bit more room on the disk where you could save files. While the Mac Plus that we had at the library there in Columbus, Indiana, had an additional disk drive. It has one built in plus one on the side. None of these computers had a hard drive. So what you could do is stick this disk in for one slide, and then use the external hard drive, to save your files, because the library obviously had kept these. I mean, they let you use the programs they needed, while you were there. So you could save it on your own disk. Now, keep in mind, they pretty much give these things away now, okay? But when I went to save some files, I remember because Brent was with Mom. I was at the library. She came to pick me up. I was like, Mom, I gotta save these files. I'm doing some stuff for school. I gotta save the files. I've been doing some artwork. I wrote a report for think it was history class, if I remember. It's been so long, I don't remember. I think it was history class, so it was probably English, because we did a lot of writing for English, but it might have been history. Either way, point is, I needed to save some, I had written some stuff, I needed to save it. And I was like, Mom, I need some discs. Can you just go, one of the places that I thought of was Radio Shack. Radio Shack had 3 of these. You could buy a pack of 3 for $15. $15. which I had to pay Mom back for, and I did. It was $15 for 3 of these. Like I said, nowadays they throw away and give them to you. But anyway, so she went to Radio Shack, got the discs, came back. I was able to copy the stuff, and then we went home that night. Or that afternoon. I think it was a Friday. Somehow, for some reason, I think it was a Friday. Anyway, it might have been a Saturday. I don't know. Anyway, but that doesn't matter. Point is, $3 or $15 for 3 discs. And the basic options were Mac Paint and Mac Write, which, okay. So next, after that, came MS Works. Now, when I was in high school, they got a grant from somewhere, I don't know, and they bought 32 or 34, I'm trying to remember how many exactly, but over 30 Mac SEs. And these Mac SEs had hard drives, which was like a kick butt thing at the time. And if I remember right, they had 2 megabytes of RAM. They might have had 4. I don't remember. 2 or 4 megabytes of RAM. Not very much by today's standard, obviously. But back in the day, that was a lot of RAM. So we had Microsoft Works, and this was the program that came before AppleWorks, obviously. And of course, it was made by Microsoft. And it had word processing. It had painting, drawing, spreadsheet. It had some other stuff too. But this was a big step up. And one of the things I remember back in those days, the print shop had PageMaker. And, where you took classes to learn how to run a printing press and do printing work and that kind of thing. It was a vocational class. And they had PageMaker. And everybody wanted I was in the publication department, and it was like, everybody wanted the PageMaker shop, but they didn't have it. Because only the print shop had funds to buy that particular software because that's what they did. And when we did our school newspaper, it was a big pain in the butt because we'd have to take what we did on Mac Write or MS Works, and we'd have to take it down to the print shop on a disc, and then they would have to be the ones to actually transfer the work to the printing press that would print out the school paper. And the school paper was like a big sheet that they did. They folded it in half. It was really nice looking. At least I thought so. Anyway, so it was like this big thick page. It was like this big by this big, and but the pain was we had all this PageMaker, and we didn't have it in the. So it was a big mess. Anyway, that's one of the things I remember. Now, after high school, and after I had my first couple of jobs, or first job or two, I don't remember, I saved up some money and was able, in fact, before I had my back surgery, actually about 2 or 3 weeks before I had my back surgery, save up and bought my first Macintosh computer on my own, the Performa 6116 CD. It had a CD drive. This was the big woohoo at the time. It wasn't the most expensive computer, but it was pretty, for me it was going to be awesome. It had a CD drive. It had not only a floppy disk drive, but a CD drive. And it could read CDs. That's all it could do. You could read CDs. You couldn't burn them or anything like that, but you could read them. And it had a monitor. The computer was like, I don't know, about that wide, about that deep. And it was like this. It came this way. Then you could set the monitor on top. Of course, you had a keyboard and mouse. And one of the things it came with, AppleWorks 5, baby. And I remember using that program a lot. A lot. For pretty much everything, from typing. Of course, the internet was around, but it wasn't like it. Apple had this little program, what was it, eWorld? I think it was called eWorld, and it was a mess because to get online, you had to, it's not like it is now where you pay 24 bucks or 35 bucks for it, depending on your speed. but you paid AT&T so much. It was still AT&T, but they had a number that was long distance. So the first month we had internet, it was like $800. And Dad got that bill. And oh my gosh, I remember he crapped his pants. He said, "You're not getting internet anymore." So we cut it off, obviously, because it was an 812 number, which is, we're in the 812 area, but I guess not all the 812s are in the same local area. So the number we were calling to dial out with our 56K modem was long distance. So we didn't have internet originally for very long because it was very expensive, very fast. But I then later got, let's see, I got gray iMac, the translucent one that was very popular in different colors. I got the one that was gray because it had the highest, it had not only CD, you could read CDs, but you could read DVDs. So I got that one, used that. The next one was the eMac, which was a white one. And then the one that I've got now is the iMac. And I've been using AppleWorks the entire time. So I've had it for, this is my 4th computer that I've used AppleWorks with. Going from versions 5 point whatever to 6.2.9. And like I said, I remember the first time when I got my first laser printer, it was $800. And Dad said, "You know what?" He told me, he says, "When you get the money, half the money, I'll pay for that." He didn't realize how much it was. He said, I remember that because we got the laser printer. Because after we got it, we had to get extra cables to hook it up. Because it didn't come with the cables to hook it up to the computer. This is the Performance 616 CD. And he's like, "You know what? When you get, I don't know, I pay for half, I'll pay for the other half." So basically, when I got the money, I was like, "Dad, I got half the money. Here's the catalog. Here's the price." He was like, "Oh crap!" He wasn't too happy because he didn't realize how much it was going to be. But I saved up over $400, and he had to pay $400, and we got the printer. I mean, he did agree to. I mean, he told me he agreed to do it, so we got it. But I remember we had to wait a couple more days, or it was almost a week after we got the printer here, because it didn't come with the right cables. So we had to order some cables, and that took longer. Anyway, but anyway, when I started printing with I was using AppleWorks, and I love, like I said, I just, it was, okay, back in the day we got this magazine called Macworld. Of course it's still out there today, obviously. But anyway, they had all kinds of articles about different things, but they always, when they talk about AppleWorks compared to like Adobe Illustrator or any other program that would come along that would do similar things, they would be like, "Well, it does this, it's kind of like AppleWorks, but not as good." Because AppleWorks could do spreadsheets, could do word processing, painting, drawing, so it was like all these programs would come and go, and AppleWorks, until now again, when I upgraded from 10.4 Tiger to 10.6 Snow Leopard, it drastically slowed down AppleWorks. And I don't know what the deal was. I don't know why. Didn't make sense to me. I mean, if it's going to work, it didn't work. The point is, it slowed it down. And then the other day when I upgraded to 10.7 Lion, killed AppleWorks altogether. And I'm going to miss it. I'm hoping Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple, will come up with some way to, I'm sure, here's what I don't understand why they're not letting, or adding the PowerPC that run on Rosetta apps not be running anymore. I wouldn't think it would be that hard to add it to the OS. I don't know, I'm not a programmer, I don't know all that crap, but I just don't understand. It shouldn't be that hard, I would think, to add, make it a little bit bigger. I don't understand why they're not doing it. Because there's a lot of PowerPC only apps. I'm sure a lot of people would love to be able to still run. AppleWorks isn't the only one that I'm sure died with Lion. So that's my look back. I'm paying tribute to the people who made AppleWorks what it was and what I remember. And this video goes out to looking back and remembering and what a great software package and technology, how great it was, and Thanks to the people at Apple who made the software, and hopefully there's some people at Apple that will bring it back. I miss it. Used it. I loved it. So until next time, I'm Randall M. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. And may God bless